The long game. Admiral Elena Santos stood at the viewport of humanity's flagship, the THS Revelation, watching the distant stars with practiced patience. 2 centuries of careful planning had led to this moment. The massive vessel, nearly 5 kilometers in length, hung in space like a slumbering titan, its true nature hidden beneath sophisticated holographic camouflage that made it appear as nothing more serious than a moderately sized diplomatic vessel. Final systems check complete, Admiral. Captain Maya Chen reported from her station. All masked signatures are holding steady. To their sensors, we're just another unremarkable human ship. Elena nodded, her silver-streaked black hair catching the soft light of the bridge. And our guests. The Galactic Confederation delegation will arrive through the jump gate in approximately 10 minutes. Their latest transmission indicates they're bringing 3 dreadnoughts. Apparently, they want to impress us. A quiet chuckle rippled through the bridge crew. For the past 200 years, humanity had played the role of the galaxy's newest fledgling spacefaring race to perfection. They had carefully crafted an image of technical incompetence, mixed with earnest enthusiasm, that had led the dozen major alien civilizations to view Earth and its colonies as harmless curiosities at best, and naive children at worst. The truth was something else entirely. When humanity had first detected alien radio signals 3 centuries ago, they had made a collective decision that shaped their entire approach to joining the galactic community. Rather than announce their presence, they had listened, learned, prepared. By the time they allowed themselves to be discovered 50 years ago, they had already surpassed much of the galaxy's military technology. Incoming transmission from Earth Command, the communications officer announced. Final authorization received. Operation Revelation is greenlit across all sectors. Elena straightened her midnight blue uniform, its simple design another carefully chosen piece of humanity's masquerade. Very well. Begin Phase 1. Let's show our friends what humanity has been doing all these years. The jump gate flared to life, a massive ring of swirling energy that connected distant points of space. Through it emerged 3 vessels that would have once inspired awe in human observers, the pride of the Galactic Confederation's fleet. Their crystalline hulls gleamed with internal energy, and their organic-looking designs spoke of technology that had once seemed impossibly advanced to human eyes. Confederation vessels are taking up standard diplomatic formation, Tactical reported. Their weapons are powered down, but their shields are at full strength. Typical show of force for a race they consider inferior. Open a channel, Elena commanded. Let's play our part one final time. The main view screen activated, revealing the imposing figure of High Chancellor Vrix, their 4 eyes and iridescent scales marking them as a member of the Arxer species, one of the Confederation's founding races. Greetings, Admiral Santos. Vrix's translator conveyed their words with the usual hint of condescension. We trust your vessel's primitive drive systems didn't give you too much trouble getting here. Elena smiled diplomatically, the same smile humanity had worn for 50 years of subtle insults and patronizing guidance. No trouble at all, High Chancellor. Though we're grateful for your continued patience with our developmental progress. Yes, well, that's why we're here, isn't it? Vrix shifted their ceremonial robes. The Confederation has decided it's time to discuss humanity's petition for increased autonomy and colonial expansion. While we appreciate your species' enthusiasm, you must understand our concerns about letting such a young race expand unchecked. Of course, Chancellor, we're grateful for the Confederation's guidance. Elena glanced at her tactical display, where a countdown was reaching its final moments. However, I believe it's time we had a more honest discussion about humanity's place in the galaxy. Vrix's scales rippled with amusement. Honest. My dear Admiral, we have always been honest about your species' limitations. It's for your own protection that we... The Chancellor's words cut off as their sensors registered something impossible. The diplomatic vessel they'd been patronizing suddenly shifted. The holographic disguise fell away like water, revealing the true form of the THS Revelation. Defense systems that dwarfed anything in the Confederation's arsenal emerged from previously hidden compartments. Hull plating that could shrug off their strongest weapons gleamed in the starlight. By the first ones, Vrix whispered, their translator struggling with their shock. "What is this deception?" "Not deception, Chancellor. Preparation." Alina's diplomatic smile fell away, replaced by the confident expression of a commander who knew exactly how much power was at her disposal. "While you were busy patronizing us, humanity was busy learning, building, advancing. Everything you thought you knew about our capabilities was carefully crafted to keep you complacent." On cue, jump gates began opening across the system. Real human jump gates, far more advanced than the Confederation's technology. Through them came the true face of human military power. Sleek destroyers, massive carriers, and vessels that defied Confederation classification appeared by the dozens. Each was a testament to human ingenuity and determination, built in secret shipyards buried in asteroid fields and hidden beneath the clouds of gas giants. "Impossible," Vrix breathed. "Your species, you were primitive. We monitored your development. Your colonies were struggling, your ships barely functional. We showed you exactly what we wanted you to see," Alina explained, her voice firm but not unkind. "Every struggling colony was matched by 10 thriving ones hidden from your sensors. Every primitive ship was a carefully constructed facade. Humanity learned long ago that being underestimated is one of the greatest tactical advantages possible." The tactical officer's voice cut through the tension. "Admiral, Confederation vessels are powering up weapons." "A poor decision," Alina noted calmly. "You should check your updated sensor readings, Chancellor. Your weapons cannot penetrate our shields, but I assure you, the reverse is not true. We're transmitting proof of this now, along with evidence of our fleet's true size and capabilities." Vrix's scales had lost their luster as they processed the tactical data streaming to their ships. Their species had prided themselves on being among the most advanced in known space. But these humans, they had surpassed them generations ago, and hidden that fact with masterful patience. "Why reveal this now?" Vrix demanded. "If you've had this power all along, why maintain the charade?" Alina's expression softened slightly. "Because humanity doesn't want war, Chancellor. We never did. What we want is respect. Equal standing. A true partnership with the Confederation, not as subordinates, but as peers. We chose this moment, this way, to demonstrate that we cannot be dismissed or controlled, but we can be allied with." She gestured to the fleet surrounding them. "This display isn't a threat. It's an invitation to a new kind of relationship. One based on mutual respect and genuine cooperation. The galaxy faces real threats that require unity to confront. We've hidden our true strength long enough. Now we offer it in service of a greater purpose." The bridge fell silent as humanity's message hung in the void between the ships. Centuries of preparation had led to this moment. The galaxy would never see humanity the same way again. The only question was whether that new vision would lead to conflict or cooperation. "The choice is yours, Chancellor," Alina concluded. "But whatever you decide, know this: humanity will never again be underestimated. We have earned our place among the stars. The only question is whether you'll accept us as equals or force us to demonstrate our capabilities in less diplomatic ways." The fate of galactic peace hung in the balance as humanity finally revealed its true face to the cosmos. The long game was over. The real game was about to begin. Paper tigered no more. High Chancellor Vrix's emergency transmission to the Confederation Council caused unprecedented chaos in the normally stoic Great Chamber. The massive amphitheater, hewn from living crystal in the heart of the Confederation capital world, erupted with the voices of 24 species as the sensor data from the human revelation spread through their neural networks. "Deception, treachery," thundered Ambassador Catal of the Mercian Dominion, their feline features contorted with rage. "They have violated every protocol of technological disclosure." First speaker Zena of the Al-Khuri Republic raised her wings for silence, her avian features sharp with concentration. What protocols, exactly? We imposed those restrictions on them, restrictions they never actually agreed to. We simply assumed they had no choice but to comply. The chamber's holographic displays showed real-time footage streaming in from across human space. The facades were falling away everywhere now. Hidden shipyards emerged from gas giants, revealing construction capabilities that put the Confederation's best facilities to shame. Orbital platforms that had appeared to be primitive trading posts transformed into cutting-edge defensive installations. 17 minutes ago, the humans activated something they're calling their Helios network, reported Technical Overseer Ix of the Silicon Collective, their synthetic voice carrying an unfamiliar note of concern. It appears to be a vast array of quantum-linked satellites and stations extending throughout their territory. The energy readings, they exceed our best systems by several orders of magnitude. Admiral Kosh of the Confederation Defense Force stood at the center of the chamber, his holographic form flickering with barely contained fury. We had monitoring stations watching their every move. How did they hide all of this? Because we saw what we expected to see, came a quiet voice from the shadows. All eyes turned to Elder Sin of the Arachnid Conclave, the oldest member of the Council. The ancient being's compound eyes reflected the holographic displays as they moved into the light. We expected to see primitives fumbling their way into space, and so that is exactly what they showed us. A masterful application of psychology. The Elder raised several appendages, manipulating the holographic displays to show historical data. Look at the pattern. Every time we detected them making a breakthrough, it was exactly what we expected. Nothing more, nothing less. Their progress followed our models of species development perfectly. Too perfectly, I now realize. The humans have made fools of us all, growled Cudal, claws extending unconsciously. No, Elder Sin corrected. We made fools of ourselves. Our arrogance blinded us to the possibility that a younger species could surpass us. The humans simply took advantage of that blind spot. New data streamed into the chamber as more human revelations came to light. Hidden research facilities, massive fleet formations emerging from supposedly uninhabited systems, and technology that seemed to defy the Confederation's understanding of physics. Their stealth systems alone represent a fundamental breakthrough in quantum field manipulation. Ix observed, their synthetic mind processing the data at incredible speeds. And their energy generation. They appeared to have mastered zero-point energy extraction on a scale we thought impossible. First speaker Zena's feathers rustled with agitation. The question before us is not how they did this, but what we do about it. The humans now possess military capabilities that could challenge the entire Confederation fleet. Then we must strike first, Admiral Kosh declared, while we still have the chance to. To what? Elder Sin interrupted. To start a war we would likely lose. Did you not hear Admiral Santos's message? They're not demanding our surrender or threatening our destruction. They're requesting equal standing and partnership. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. For centuries, the Confederation had maintained its power through technological superiority. Now they faced a species that had hidden its true capabilities for generations, advancing in secret while playing the role of grateful student. There's something else to consider, Ix added, projecting new data streams. Analysis of their revealed technology suggests they've solved several problems that have plagued our own development. Their quantum communications network alone could revolutionize interstellar trade and defense. You suggest we simply accept their deception? Kull demanded. Roll over and pretend the last 50 years of manipulation never happened. I suggest we learn from them, Elder Sin responded. Think about what this reveals about their species. They had the power to challenge us years ago, yet they chose patience. They could have conquered, yet they seek partnership. That speaks to either tremendous wisdom or remarkable restraint, perhaps both. First speaker Zena manipulated the controls, bringing up the image of Admiral Santos's final message. They're offering us a choice between cooperation and confrontation. But I suspect the real choice is between accepting a new reality or clinging to our outdated perceptions of superiority. The Silicon Collective votes for acceptance. X announced suddenly. Their technological achievements alone warrant respect. The potential benefits of cooperation far outweigh the damage to our pride. One by one, the council members began to voice their positions. The debate raged for hours as the political landscape of the galaxy shifted beneath them. Reports continued to flood in as more human capabilities came to light, each revelation more impressive than the last. Finally, Elder Sin raised all their appendages for attention. We have before us an opportunity. Yes, the humans deceived us, but they did so without malice or aggression. They've demonstrated patience, strategic thinking, and technological prowess beyond our expectations. These are not the actions of a species to be feared, but one to be respected and perhaps learned from. The chamber grew quiet as the weight of the moment settled over them. The galaxy had changed irrevocably. The only question was whether the Confederation would change with it. Perhaps. Elder Sin continued, their ancient eyes reflecting the starlight. This is precisely what our stagnant Confederation needs, a reminder that progress and power can come from unexpected places, and that true strength lies not in domination, but in adaptation. The paper tiger had revealed its true nature, and the galaxy would never be the same. The rules have changed. The Artaxian Trade Exchange, normally a model of cold economic efficiency, had descended into barely controlled chaos. News of humanity's true capabilities had sent markets spinning as centuries-old assumptions about technological superiority and military power were upended overnight. Dex Vorn, lead analyst for the Confederation Economic Council, watched the holographic trading floor from his private observation pod. Resources that humans had seemed desperate to trade for just days ago were now plummeting in value as the truth became clear. They had never needed them at all. It had all been an elaborate show. Another mining consortium just declared insolvency, his assistant reported, neural feeds streaming data directly into their consciousness. They specialized in helping human colonies extract resources with our superior technology. Turns out the humans were letting them mine the dregs while hiding the real deposits. Dex's facial tentacles twisted in what his species considered a grim smile. How many similar operations have failed in the last standard day? 47 major corporations across 12 species, all built on the assumption of human technological inferiority. The assistant paused. The humans are already offering assistance to affected worlds, particularly those whose economies relied heavily on their manufactured dependence. Below them, representatives from a dozen species argued over the implications of humanity's deception. Some called for economic sanctions, seemingly oblivious to the fact that such measures would now hurt them far more than Earth. Others desperately tried to establish new trade agreements before their competitors could act. Director Vorn, a new voice interrupted. The human delegation has arrived. Dex turned to see 3 humans entering his observation pod, led by Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's newly appointed economic liaison. Gone was the slightly outdated diplomatic uniform she'd worn in previous meetings, replaced by a sleek outfit that subtly spoke of advanced technology and quiet confidence. Director, she greeted him with a slight bow. I believe we need to discuss the new economic reality. Indeed. Dex gestured to the chaos below. Your revelation has destabilized centuries of established economic order. An order built on deliberate inequality. Sarah countered smoothly. We're here to propose a transition to something more sustainable. Something better. She raised her hand, and a holographic display materialized between them, far clearer and more detailed than anything Confederation technology could produce. It showed a complex web of economic relationships and trade routes. For 50 years, we've studied how the Confederation uses economic power to maintain control, Sarah explained. How advanced species exploit developing ones through technological dependence and resource manipulation. We played along, learning your methods while developing alternatives. Alternatives. Dex's tentacles writhed with interest, despite his diplomatic training. Equal partnership models. Trade agreements that benefit both parties rather than creating dependency. We've already implemented them in secret with several outer rim worlds. She smiled. Worlds that have shown remarkable economic growth recently, despite their supposed technological limitations. Understanding dawned in Dex's neural centers. Several former economic backwaters had mysteriously prospered in recent years, defying Confederation models. The Council had attributed it to statistical anomalies or hidden resource discoveries. Now he knew better. You've been building a shadow economy, he realized, testing your theories on a small scale. And now we're ready to implement them broadly. Sarah's expression grew serious. The Confederation can fight this. Try to maintain the old power structures, or it can work with us to build something new, something that benefits everyone, not just the established powers. The implications were staggering. Humanity hadn't just hidden its military and technological capabilities, it had been quietly revolutionizing galactic economics, testing and refining new models while the Confederation remained blind to their true activities. The rules have changed, Sarah continued. But change doesn't have to mean chaos. We're offering stability through equality, prosperity through genuine cooperation. The choice is yours. Before Dex could respond, new alerts flooded his neural feed. Across Confederation space, human ships were decloaking near trade stations and economic centers, not as threats, but as visible reminders of the new reality. The facade of human weakness had served its purpose. Now came the true test. Could the galaxy's powers adapt to a future where humanity stood as equals? Your species. Dex's tentacles moved in a pattern of reluctant admiration. You didn't just fool us. You studied us, learned our weaknesses, prepared solutions. We did. Sarah nodded, because true change requires more than just revealing hidden strength. It requires offering a better path forward. She gestured to the continuing chaos on the trading floor. This instability was inevitable. The old system was unsustainable. We're offering a chance to build something better. Around them, the galaxy continued to grapple with humanity's revelation. But here, in this quiet observation pod above the Artaxian trade exchange, the first steps toward a new economic order were being taken. The rules had changed, and with them, the future of galactic civilization hung in the balance. The question was no longer whether humanity could compete on the galactic stage. The question was whether the galaxy was ready for humanity's vision of what that stage could become. Strength through unity. The United Earth Council chamber in Geneva hummed with energy as representatives from every human world gathered to witness a moment 2 centuries in the making. The massive circular room, with its transparent quantum blast dome showing the stars above, represented humanity's greatest achievement. Not their technological advances, but their unity. General Marcus Jean, one of the architects of humanity's long deception, stood at the podium addressing the assembled leaders. Behind him, holographic displays showed real-time footage of Confederation delegations arriving across human space. 200 years ago, when we first detected alien signals, humanity stood divided. Marcus began, his voice carrying the weight of history. Nations distrusted each other, colonies fought for independence, and our species seemed destined to carry its conflicts to the stars. Then we discovered we weren't alone. The displays shifted, showing historical footage of the first alien transmissions being decoded. Our response to that discovery changed everything. For the first time in human history, we faced a challenge that transcended our divisions. The question wasn't whether we could compete with advanced alien civilizations. It was whether we could unite long enough to try. In orbit above Earth, cloaking fields continued to fall away, revealing the true extent of humanity's space-based infrastructure. Massive defensive platforms, research stations, and shipyards emerged from their centuries-long hiding places. Each installation represented decades of secret cooperation between former rivals. The Confederation's arrival forced us to make a choice, Marcus continued. We could reveal ourselves immediately, becoming another subjugated species in their hierarchy. Or we could buy time. Prepare. Work together in secret while presenting a carefully crafted image of disunity and weakness. The Chamber's attention shifted as Dr. Amara Patel, director of the Technological Integration Program, took the podium. Every nation, every colony had to sacrifice their pride. Russia couldn't reveal their breakthroughs in quantum shielding. China had to hide their advances in artificial gravity. The North American Alliance's developments in FTL technology remained secret. Each discovery that could have brought glory to individual nations was instead contributed to humanity's collective preparation. Screens showed the hidden facilities where these developments had taken place. Massive underground complexes where scientists from former rival nations worked side by side, safe from Confederation observation. We learned to trust each other because we had to, Amara explained. When the Chinese discovered a flaw in their fusion containment systems, American scientists didn't exploit it. They helped fix it. When European quantum computers hit a development barrier, Indian programmers worked through the night to find a solution. Old rivalries gave way to a shared purpose. The displays showed more recent footage, the reactions across human space as their true capabilities were finally revealed. Celebrations erupted on every world as centuries of secrecy finally ended. The feared political chaos and resurgence of old rivalries hadn't materialized. Humanity had learned its lesson too well. Admiral Elena Santos's voice came through the Chamber's communication system, transmitted from the THS Revelation. The Confederation's greatest mistake wasn't underestimating our technological capabilities. It was assuming that our apparent disunity was natural and permanent. They looked at our political disputes, our economic competition, our cultural differences, and saw weakness. They never understood that these differences had become our strength. The Chamber's attention turned to the arrival of the first Confederation diplomatic vessels, now approaching Earth with a mixture of caution and awe. The ships were being escorted by human vessels that had protected Earth for decades while appearing to be nothing more than orbital debris or primitive satellites. Today, we can finally show the galaxy who we truly are, Marcus declared. Not just our military power or technological advancement, but our unity. We've proven that humanity's greatest strength isn't our ability to build powerful weapons or develop new technologies. It's our ability to overcome our differences and work together toward a common goal. Dr. Patel stepped forward again. The Confederation built its power on creating dependency and division. We've proven there's another way. Every human world, every colony, every station is self-sufficient yet completely interconnected. We don't need to control each other because we've learned to trust each other. The Chamber erupted in applause as the first Confederation representatives entered. Their expressions showed their struggle to reconcile the primitive, divided humanity they thought they knew with the reality before them. Let them see. Admiral Santos's voice rang out. Let them see what becomes possible when you choose cooperation over control, unity over dominance. Let them see what humanity can achieve when we stand together. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's greatest deception hadn't been hiding their technological advancement. It had been proving that apparent weakness could become unprecedented strength through unity of purpose and trust in each other. The true face of humanity was finally revealed, and it was far more impressive than mere technological superiority. It was the face of a species that had learned to unite without losing its diversity, to cooperate without sacrificing independence, and to advance without abandoning its values. The age of deception was over. The age of true human potential had begun. A new dawn. 5 years after humanity's revelation, the galaxy had transformed in ways few could have predicted. The newly constructed Unity Station orbited a neutral point between Earth and the Confederation capital, its unique design incorporating architectural elements from 24 species. Inside its Grand Assembly Hall, representatives from across known space gathered to mark a historic moment. Admiral Elena Santos, now serving as Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Council, stood before the assembled delegates. Through the vast transparent dome above, Both the Milky Way's spiral arm and the transformed fleets of the combined species were visible, human and alien ships now patrolling together, sharing technologies and strategies that had once been jealously guarded secrets. 5 years ago, we stood on the brink of conflict. Elena began, her voice carrying across the silent chamber. Today, we stand united against threats that would have once seemed insurmountable. Not through force, not through dominance, but through genuine partnership. The holographic displays around the chamber showed the evidence of her words. Joint research stations where human and alien scientists worked side by side, unlocking mysteries that had baffled their separate civilizations for centuries. Trading posts where formerly antagonistic species conducted commerce under new economic models that promoted cooperation over competition. High Chancellor Vrix, who had once looked down on humanity with condescension, now stood beside Elena as an equal. Their scales shimmered with a new pattern that the assembled delegates recognized as respect. Humanity's revelation forced us to confront uncomfortable truths. Vrix admitted, we had become complacent, believing our technological superiority made us wise. The humans proved that true wisdom lies not in what you know, but in how you use that knowledge. The displays shifted to show the first joint Human Confederation military operation, a response to a threat that had emerged from deep space, a swarm of artificially intelligent predator ships that had been consuming entire systems at the galaxy's edge. The kind of threat that the old Confederation would have struggled to contain. Together, Elena continued, we faced an enemy that would have overwhelmed any single species. Human stealth technology combined with Arxer shield systems. Mercian targeting computers linked to Silicon Collective quantum processors. We didn't just survive. We thrived. The chamber's attention turned to the next display. The first colonies established under the new Galactic Charter. Worlds where multiple species lived and worked together, each contributing their unique strengths to build something greater than any could have achieved alone. Elder Sin of the Arachnid Conclave moved forward, their ancient forms supported by a mobility field of human design. We feared humanity's strength would destabilize the galaxy. Instead, their example has shown us a better path. They proved that deception, when used with wisdom and restraint, can serve a greater purpose than mere tactical advantage. The true test of power, Elena added, is not in its accumulation, but in its application. Humanity hid our strength not to dominate, but to demonstrate that true progress comes through cooperation, not subjugation. The assembled delegates watched as new data streamed across their neural interfaces. The combined scientific and technological achievements of the past 5 years had outpaced the previous 50. Problems that had seemed unsolvable were yielding to the combined efforts of multiple species, each approaching challenges from their unique perspectives. Today, we ratify not just a treaty, but a new vision for our galaxy, Elena declared. The Galactic Union isn't built on fear of the strong or exploitation of the weak. It's founded on the principle that every species, every world, every individual has something valuable to contribute. High Chancellor Vrix raised their ceremonial staff. The old Confederation stood as a hierarchy, with advanced species directing the development of younger races. The Union stands as a circle, with each member supporting and being supported by all others. The chamber's quantum field hummed as the final votes were cast. Species that had once viewed each other with suspicion or disdain now stood together, their representatives watching as a new era of galactic civilization was born. Humanity's greatest deception, Elena concluded, was letting the galaxy believe that progress must come at the cost of unity, that advancement must breed division. We proved otherwise. And in doing so, we didn't just change humanity's place in the cosmos, we changed the very nature of how species interact among the stars. Above the station, the combined fleet executed a synchronized maneuver that would have been impossible just years ago. Human ships moving in perfect concert with their alien counterparts, a display of unity that symbolized everything the new Union represented. The age of deception had given way to an age of unprecedented cooperation. Humanity had hidden their strength not to dominate, but to demonstrate a better way forward. They had deceived the galaxy not to prove their superiority, but to show that true power lies in the ability to unite, to cooperate, to build something greater than any single species could achieve alone. The new dawn had arrived, and its light shone not from any single star, but from the combined brilliance of all sentient species working together toward a brighter future.